Hi and welcome everyone. My name is MEGHAA Gupta. I'm a master teacher and teacher trainer with the Diana Cooper School of White Light. Thank you for joining us. And today I have chosen a very special topic for you all. And this one is really close to my heart, and it is all about the fairies. And the reason why I chose this topic is spring is about to begin and the fairies get really active, and I'm sure you can have many beautiful experiences, magical and joyful experiences with them. And if some of these tips that I'm going to share with you, if that helps you, I will be very happy and glad to hear all the lovely experiences that you're having. To begin with, the topic of fairies, it already makes me giggle because that's the energy of fairies. You know, they're full of joy, they're full of life, and they're full of action, and they're always moving and they're always doing something exciting. And that's the kind of energy you can expect when the fairies are around you. When you are, when you're very good to nature, especially if you're kind to nature, all the beings of nature, it's really a shortcut for you to be super attractive and magnetic to the fairy energy. The fairies are truly drawn to all those who are nature empaths and those who are kind to nature, who look after nature. If you're someone who has a special bond with nature, you will find it very easy to connect with the fairy beings. You'll find it so easy to just walk out in the nature and be able to hear them, or maybe feel them and sense them, and especially feel the lightness and joy inside you when you're out in the nature. And you would know that it's the fairies who are around you. It's their energy which kind of rubs into you when you're out in the nature. If you're someone who loves to look after trees and plants and even birds, animals, etc., you might have inspirations and ideas popping in your head out of nowhere, and you just know how to heal them, or you just know how to take care of that plant or that animal or that bird or anything that you felt that you wanted to help. Especially because fairies are beings who are very closely connected with nature, and they're very closely connected with taking care of plants and even all the things that grows in nature. You will find that when you are connecting with fairies, sometimes they may ask you to, have little help, can you go and do this? And you may feel the urge to go to a plant and do something for the plant, or you may feel like this tree needs something, or maybe sometimes just a blessing, it needs your energy, and you may feel like going to the tree and offering a service. And it often is like a test from the fairies. They test you at times that, are you kind and good to nature? And if you are, they would be absolutely delighted to work with you. Fairies do especially like people who can be a channel of service to everything that they are taking care of. And if you do, if you take care of environment in any way, which is their home literally, they would be very happy to befriend you. So one of the shortest way of befriending a fairy is to offer your service to the nature, and everything that you can do to make the environment, the nature better in any way. And if you can serve plants and trees and animals, they will be delighted to be around you, because you are someone who listens to them and who helps them, because it's the job of the fairies to do all that. And if you are offering them your services, they will be very excited to connect with you and talk to you. And while they're playing, sometimes they tell you, can you go and do this? And in the play, in the joy and fun, joyful times, sometimes they ask you to do some tasks, and you don't even realize how you end up doing something so huge with the help of the fairies, and all of that fun and childlike play. That's the fairies for you. Fairies have this very exciting and fun energy, and there is no dull moment when the fairies are around you, especially if you're someone who needs a little more joy and a little more upliftment. invoke to the fairies. Just go out in nature if possible, or maybe just go close to a plant and just talk to the fairies who tend to the plants, who tend to the nature, and ask them if they can help you finding more joy inside, if they can help you be more happier and more alive and be more grateful for life, and just see their transformative and amazing energy just enfold you. Sometimes when I do that, I feel like a whirlpool of energy surrounding me, and I just feel like, you know, suddenly my energy is just lifted up high and higher and higher. And I at times I've ended up laughing and laughing and laughing so much that my tummy would hurt, and I'd be like, okay, please stop now, I just can't laugh anymore. And it's really amazing to work with the fairies, but sometimes you may have to tell them that, okay, now I need to stop laughing, and okay, I now need to go and do something important too, and take your, you know, take your leave after you know, you're done working with them. Always remember to be very grateful to the fairies, because they love the attitude of gratitude. Just like any angelic being, any higher being that you give gratitude to, you must give gratitude to the fairies too. They do love appreciation. They do like it when you say thank you to them, and they do like it when they feel important and useful, and that's again fairies for you. This is one special qualities that one of the special qualities that the nature beings have, compared to the angels, who are very, very unconditional. But nature beings are still evolving and coming to the 7th dimensional space of existence, and sometimes they do like a little appreciation. So you might want to remember to give them gratitude for sure. Another tip I would like to share with you is, if you'd like to be closer to the fairies, and if you'd like to invite the fairies more in your space, maybe you can do some things which they like. Fairies can actually enjoy your offerings. So for example, if you like, you can offer them a piece of chocolate somewhere in the nature, or maybe sometimes what I do is I would keep a piece of chocolate in the maybe in the potted plants, or maybe under a tree, and I just would pray that the fairies please enjoy this offering. And if you actually check etherically, the chocolate may still be physically there, but ethically they enjoy and relish in the, you know, in the etheric form of the chocolate, and they really have a good time, and they really thank you and can truly reward you because you are being nice and kind to them. It's just like, you know, befriending a child. Absolutely. Actually, befriending a fairy is like befriending a child. If you want this child to favor you, you must give them sometimes, you know, a little bit of chocolate here, a little bit of something that they really like and enjoy, and they will be so close to you and so happy with you. So another thing to remember when you work with the fairies is, you can give them rewards at times. You can give them some offerings. You can give them things that they enjoy. They absolutely love anything shining. So sometimes I have created some fairy, fairy hangings. I call it fairy hangings. So I would have like some creative stuff lying around, maybe some nice beautiful shining wires, and I would twist them all together, and I made something on which the birds can swing, so something like a, you know, swing for the birds. So I just, you know, hung it outside, and I offered it to the fairies, and I had actually promised it to them that I would do that. And it's really fun and exciting that when they accept a gift, you would just know the energy around you and inside you would be so different, and you would be so full of excitement and joy, just like what they're feeling and sensing. So you would know that, you know, a fairy has really accepted your gift. And if you like, you can also give them something that like a bell or wind chimes. If you like, you can hang some wind chimes around on your balconies or your the windows and all. They love music. So with the fairies, they still are like in the kind of like set up like a kingdom. So the fairies, once they are done with their work and they're really fast with their work, you can find the fairies like moving from soup, 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 and finishing their work. And then they, at the end of the day, they like to have their fun, they like to have their joy time. And in the evenings you'll find, in fact, you may have seen many paintings of the mushrooms, like the mushroom circles, which we call the fairy rings. And the fairies like playing some flute music or some other kind of music and really dancing and playing and having fun. That's how they are. Once the job is finished, they like to have fun and enjoy their lives. And they can really they can really make you hear their music if again you are in tune with them and in tune with nature. Sometimes when you step out, you can actually hear their music when they are playing their music and having a party time. We call it the fairy party. So when they are doing that, when they are having fun and they are having a party, you can actually hear their music. When you walk in the nature, sometimes you can just hear the music of the fairies, and it's really exciting and joyful and really truly enchanting. And of course, sometimes people may feel like a little bit like, oh, what's happening? Why am I hearing music? And they run back to their home. But believe me, if you trust and you shield and protect yourself, and you have stepped out in the nature and you ask only the higher beings to connect with you, only the higher beings will connect with you, and you will know that this is the fairy music that I'm hearing. And sometimes the fairy music may not really sound like the physical music that you're hearing, but it may sound like the music somewhere. It's very difficult to describe in words. It may be like ethereal music somewhere playing, and you hear it inside the head, and at the same time you hear it outside, and it is so beautiful and so enchanting. And if again you are friends with the fairies, they will show you the magic in nature. They will show you magic, and they will make you experience nature and learn and understand nature like you have never ever before. I remember sometimes I would step out in nature and I would just, let's say, connect with the tree and pray to the fairies of the tree to connect with me. Sometimes I could see the tree being coming into my complete vision so clearly. I could see the colors, the energy of the tree, and sometimes what it has to speak. Sometimes I could also understand the properties of the trees, or the fruits, the vegetables, the leaves, etc. And I can also understand how they want me to use it. And sometimes I would, being a logical person myself, I would often go and Google things or search things. Is this true? Is this how this is supposed to be used? And I would find that yes, this is how the beneficial this herb or this tree or this plant can be. And I would be really surprised. And that's a good thing about practicing discernment, is that whatever you understand or hear or receive as a guidance, sometimes it's nice to actually look back and really get like reaffirm about what guidance you're receiving and how actually it is really truly true. So yes, the fairies can be really fun beings to work with, and they can show you magic in the nature. You must spend some time in nature and hear its rhythm, hear its music, hear its heartbeat, and feel the beings of light there who are constantly non-stop working and always so giving. Nature is so giving, and it's the beings of nature who are responsible for what you and I are receiving from nature. And if you just take some time of pause and just listen to the heartbeat of Gaia, Mother Earth, the heartbeat of a tree and its its music, its rhythm, how beautiful it is all, and how meditative it can be, and how it can take you deep inside your own being. There's this beautiful quote, I think, by Buddha, which says that if you can understand truly, if you can just meditate on a flower, and if you can truly understand that being of that flower, you can achieve enlightenment. And you must have an experience like that to really have an understanding what this quote means. It is beautiful how you can feel oneness with everything when you're out in the nature. And nature could be truly a complete space for healing. I feel like I don't need to go to a spa or a therapy or a massage or anything to unwind. All I do is just walk out in nature and I am healed. And believe me when I say that, whenever I've had experiences with my body not being well, I just go out in nature, and it's so much more easier to listen to my own body in nature. And it's so much more easier to heal my body in nature. Sometimes I would just lie down, invoke to the fairies, and I'll feel the tiny little hands, you know, removing something or cleaning something and putting some energy somewhere here and there. And sometimes it feels like, you know, it almost feels like something is tickling you, someone is making you laugh. In fact, sometimes you can hear the giggles in the air, and it's so much fun to have the fairies around. They can be really naughty, that is for sure. The fairies can have a lot of fun with you. Sometimes you will find stuff being hidden here and there, and it's just their way of, you know, having fun with you, and it's their way of play. Basically, you can tell them that, okay, enough, now I need my stuff back. And sometimes I just give a chocolate and I'm like, okay, you can give my stuff back and take this chocolate in exchange, and I put a glass on top of it. And when I find that stuff, I just give that as a, you know, as a bribe to the fairies. And it's really a fun relationship to have with them. It is very exciting to have a friend in a fairy being, not for any reasons of manifestation and all that stuff or any favors that you need. It's just really amazing to know the fairies. They are truly beings of service, and all they want is for us to love and to heal nature, to take care of Mother Earth. And there is truly so much to learn from them. You know, if you ask the fairies and they love you so much, they would be very happy to show themselves up in your pictures. And I have clicked so many fairy orbs, and I've written an article. You can find this on our school's page as well. And there are lots of pictures of the fairy orbs, the tiny little orbs of fairies and so many other nature beings. The one which is very, very special and close to my heart is this one. So I clicked this picture a long time back. I think it was in 2014. Yes, it's really a beautiful fairy. If you can see, you know, the legs, the wand and the frock and the wings, and she was so amazingly showing up in this picture. So it was a training, and we were releasing lanterns, and if you can see here, this fairy showed up here and she was moving straight towards the lantern. And you know why she came is because I had asked them just before going for releasing the lanterns, because sometimes the lanterns go up in the air, and you know, sometimes it can be harmful and dangerous for the birds to the birds, and sometimes even wherever they fall it can be harmful. So I prayed to the fairies before this lantern ceremony that, you know, just make sure that the lanterns go safely. And then I went on hopping, skipping, jumping, enjoying the ceremony. And I had given my digital camera to a friend of mine, a lovely friend of mine, and she was clicking pictures, and she had also invoked to the fairies. I had also invoked to the fairies, and there in the picture this fairy came, and it was so exciting to see them, because fairies are very shy beings. They hardly come in the pictures, and to click the orbs of the fairies also, it's really a blessing. And in this article also I've shared so many fairy orbs. You can see the whole cluster of the fairies in the bushes. And you know, when we were walking in the nature, I just prayed to the nature beings that it would be amazing to see you. Can you please show yourselves up to us? And I was carrying this, no, a friend of mine was carrying this digital camera, and we were clicking pictures, and she had handed it over to me, and she knows I love the orbs. So I was clicking, and there was this particular bush where I could hear the giggles, and I just went closer to the bush and I was clicking pictures there, and I didn't bother checking it at that point of time. We'd walked forward, and later on, to my surprise, this bush which looked completely dry, you know, when you're looking with the naked eyes, it was dry. And all these places, everywhere in the bush, even in the ground, and even, you know, close to my friend, there were tiny little orbs of light, and we were so surprised, excited and happy to finally be able to see the fairy orbs. And this one, which I just showed you on the phone, it is just amazing. This is a very rare picture. I took it 10 years back and never shared it on social media. It's the first time I'm sharing it with you all, because I promised to the fairies, who are very shy beings, that I'm not gonna, you know, without your permission, I'm not gonna do this. So yes, I hope you enjoyed today's session with me. And if you would like to click fairy orbs, make sure that you pray with all your heart, and that you are kind and good to nature, and just invoke to them and ask them that if you would like, I would love to see you. I really am looking forward to see you. And if you can show yourselves up to me and just click pictures with a good digital camera and a good flash, and try a couple of times. Sometimes it's about, you know, trying a couple of times. And I really wish you great luck, lots of happiness and joy, and lots of fairy blessings your way. I hope that you enjoy this spring with lots and lots of fairies around, and I hope you share with me your experiences with the fairies. I would be really excited to hear them all. This is Megha, and I'm signing off now with a promise to be back with lots more magical experiences to be shared with you. See you and take care.